Happy Tuesday, everyone. This weekend, I came across a quote from Brene Brown, who's a researcher and professor and speaker. And the quote really resonated with me, and I wanted to share that with you this week and talk a little bit about that. So she says, "It takes courage to say yes to rest and play in a culture where exhaustion is seen as a status symbol." I'll read that one more time. "It takes courage to say yes to rest and play in a culture where exhaustion is seen as a status symbol." I don't know about you, but so often I find myself valuing my day based on how productive I was, how much I got done, what I accomplished. Rarely do I ever ask myself, did I take time to rest today? Did I take time to play today? I think we're all living in a world that tells us frequently that things like rest and play are a waste of time. I know as a student, I found that to be a reality of my daily life. It seemed like there was always something to accomplish, always something that needed to get done. And the more fatigued and stressed and overwhelmed I was, the more successful I was, or at least that's how it seemed to be. I think it's so easy for us to carry this mentality over from our careers and academics into our relationships with other people and simply the way that we live our daily lives. While the things that we do and our work and our actions are very important, I think it's also crucial for us all to recognize that as human beings, we're so much more than simply what we do. That's not what we're defined by. That's not where our identity lies. And it seems that we're starting to lose our ability to simply be and exist without a particular goal or accomplishment in mind. The theologian Romano Guardini makes an important distinction between purpose and meaning that I think sheds an important light on this mentality. In our utilitarian world, we so often confuse meaning with a thing's usefulness and productivity and efficiency. We confuse its meaning with its purpose. However, meaning can be completely independent of purpose. Guardini says, "Objects which have no purpose in their strict sense of the term have a meaning. This meaning is not realized by their extraneous effect or by the contribution which they make to the stability or the modification of another object, but their significance consists in being what they are. Measured by the strict sense of the word, they are purposeless, but still full of meaning." I think that our modern world would likely scoff at this quote, not really wanting to conceive of something that can be meaningful if it can't be used for the sake of humanity. In reflecting on Guardini, I couldn't help but reflect on my summer living and working in a large community where the heart of its mission is in valuing the human person with or without intellectual disabilities based upon solely who he or she is, not based on what he or she does, produces, accomplishes, or creates. As a society, I think that our lives would be radically transformed if we valued our fellow human beings as meaningful simply because they exist, not because of how useful they are or because of how hard they've worked. Approaching our daily lives in this way as well would shift towards seeing every moment as gift from the God who is constantly holding us in existence, rather than seeing every moment as an opportunity to accomplish something or prove ourselves. I think that each one of us can play a role in changing this narrative that is dominating our culture. We as human beings are so much more than what we do. While our actions are certainly important, our identity as human beings with inherent value and dignity is not reliant on what we accomplish in our daily lives. This should not create an attitude of indifference in our lives, but rather it should draw us into a perspective of gratitude that leads to rejoicing in every moment as a gift from God. May each one of us learn to value rest and play as we go about our daily lives, living out our identities as children of God.